Have you ever wondered about the moments that truly shifted the gears of history? Not just the famous battles or treaties, but the quieter, more personal stories that ripple through time, changing everything. Today, we're diving into some incredible true stories from Islamic history that did just that. These aren't just tales from the past. They are powerful examples of faith, courage, and innovation that shape the world we live in today. From a single word that saved an empire to a woman's vision that created a beacon of knowledge for the entire world, get ready to see history in a completely new light. Our first story takes us to the 7th century, to one of the most critical moments in early Islamic history, the Battle of the Trench. The city of Medina was under siege by a massive confederation of tribes. The Muslims were outnumbered, outmatched, and morale was dangerously low. As they dug a defensive trench around the city, a tactic unheard of in Arabia at the time, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad hit a problem. A huge, unbreakable rock stood in their way. Exhausted and hungry, they couldn't shatter it. The Prophet himself came down into the trench. He took a pickaxe, and as he struck the rock, he made 3 pronouncements. With the first strike, he said he saw the keys to Syria. With the second, the keys to Persia. And with the third, the keys to Yemen. To the tired, besieged men, this might have seemed like wishful thinking. They were fighting for their very survival, yet their leader was speaking of future victories over the world's greatest superpowers. But this wasn't just a morale boost. It was a vision. It instilled in them a belief that their struggle had a purpose far beyond this one battle. The rock shattered, the trench was completed, and the siege was ultimately won. This moment transformed a desperate defense into the foundation of a future civilization, turning a small, struggling community's mindset from one of survival to one of destiny. The psychological impact was immense, setting the stage for one of the most rapid and expansive shifts in world history. Now, let's journey forward to centuries to the city of Fez, in modern-day Morocco. Here, a remarkable woman named Fatima al-Fihri would change the world not with a sword, but with a vision for education. Fatima and her sister Maryam were the daughters of a wealthy merchant who had migrated from Tunisia. They were well-educated and deeply devout. After their father passed away, Fatima inherited a considerable fortune. But instead of using it for personal luxury, she decided to invest it in her community's future. In the year 859, she founded the Al-Qur'an mosque. But this was no ordinary mosque. Fatima oversaw its construction and envisioned it as a place of learning, a place where knowledge of all kinds could flourish. Soon, it grew into the University of Al-Qur'an, which is recognized today by UNESCO and the Guinness World Records as the oldest existing, continually operating university in the world. For over 1,000 years, it has been a center of learning, attracting scholars, philosophers, and scientists from all over the globe. It predates the University of Bologna by over 200 years and Oxford by even more. Fatima al-Fihri's initiative established a model for higher education that would influence the development of universities across Europe and the rest of the world. Her story is a powerful testament to how one person's philanthropic vision can create an institution that shapes intellectual history for millennia. It's a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge is a cornerstone of civilization, and it was a Muslim woman who laid one of its most enduring foundations. Our next story is one of intellect, medicine, and the bridging of cultures. We're talking about Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, a Persian polymath who lived around the turn of the 11th century. He was a true genius, a philosopher, astronomer, and physician whose work would dominate medical education in both the Islamic world and Europe for more than 600 years. His most famous work, the Canon of Medicine, was an immense encyclopedia of medical knowledge. It wasn't just a collection of existing information, it was a revolutionary text. Ibn Sina introduced concepts like the contagious nature of infectious diseases, quarantine to limit their spread, and the basics of clinical trials. He meticulously documented anatomical knowledge, surgical procedures, and the use of hundreds of different medicines. When the Canon of Medicine was translated into Latin, it became the standard medical textbook in European universities from the 12th century all the way to the 17th century. Think about that. For centuries, If you were studying to be a doctor in Paris, Padua, or Bologna, you were studying the work of Ibn Sina. He created a shared language of medicine that transcended religious and cultural divides. His work saved countless lives and laid the groundwork for modern evidence-based medicine. This wasn't a single event, but a lifetime of dedication to science and reason that fundamentally changed how humanity understands and treats the human body. Let us move to a story of integrity and economic justice that has echoes in our financial systems today. This revolves around the second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, and his governance in the early 7th century. As the Islamic State expanded, Umar faced the challenge of managing a vast and diverse empire. One night as he was walking through the streets of Medina in disguise to check on his people something he was famous for, he overheard a milkmaid's mother telling her to dilute their milk with water to sell more and make a larger profit. The girl refused. She reminded her mother that the Caliph Umar had forbidden this practice. The mother scoffed, saying, "How would Umar know what we are doing here in the dark?" The girl's reply was profound. She said, "Mother, Umar may not see us, but the Lord of Umar sees us." Umar was so moved by her honesty and fear of God that the very next day, he summoned the girl and her mother. After verifying the story, he was so impressed with the girl's character that he proposed she marry his own son, Qasim. From this union came a granddaughter who would become the mother of a future caliph, Umar ibn Abdulaziz, who is himself remembered as one of the most just rulers in Islamic history. This single act of integrity by an unknown milkmaid didn't just earn her respect, it influenced the lineage of leadership and reinforced a culture of ethical business practices and accountability. It's a powerful story showing how the moral compass of ordinary people, supported by just leadership, can set a standard that shapes a society's economic and ethical foundation. Our final story is about one of history's greatest explorers, Ibn Battuta. In the 14th century, this Moroccan scholar set out from his home in Tangier to perform the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. He was just 21 years old and expected to be gone for a few months, maybe a couple of years. Instead, his journey lasted for nearly 30 years. He traveled over 75,000 miles, visiting most of the known Islamic world and beyond, from North Africa and the Middle East to India, China, and Southeast Asia. His travels were 3 times longer than Marco Polo's. When he finally returned home, he dictated his adventures in a book called The Rihla, or The Journey. This book is a historical treasure. It provides the most detailed first-hand account we have of many cultures and societies in the 14th century. He documented political systems, trade routes, local customs, and the geography of lands few outsiders had ever seen. His work gave the world an unprecedented, multicultural view of the medieval era. It wasn't written from the perspective of a conqueror or a merchant, but of a scholar and a traveler, driven by curiosity and faith. The Rihla connected different parts of the world through the written word, expanding the geographic and cultural imagination of his contemporaries and providing historians with an invaluable window in the past. His personal journey of faith became a journey for all of humanity, changing our understanding of the medieval world forever. From a prophecy that forged an empire's belief, to a woman's vision for eternal learning, a doctor's canon that healed millions, a milkmaid's integrity that shaped a dynasty, and a traveler's journey that mapped the world, these stories show us that history is made by more than just kings and generals. It's shaped by moments of faith, acts of courage, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge and justice. These are the true stories that change the course of history. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through time. If you found these stories as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden histories. Let us know in the comments which story resonated with you the most. Until next time, stay curious.